Whispers from the other side. It's the mystery. Have you ever felt the presence of a loved one who has passed away? You would be surprised at the number of people that believe that their bonds with those who have departed continue to transcend the veil of death. People report that they have been visited by at least one deceased family member in their dreams or in other types of forms. And they shared their life events with you. Or they have a deceased family member that communicates only with them. It states that women have this phenomenon more than men for at least one of those experiences. And people who are somewhat religious are also more likely to have these experiences compared to those who are very religious or not religious at all. People have felt the presence of a deceased family member in their dreams, or they experience a comforting or reassuring encounter. And these dream visitations can range from vivid conversations to a simple feeling of their loved one's presence. Some people encounter their loved ones outside of their dreams, sensing that their loved one is present in their waking lives through either a familiar scent or just a touch that you can't explain, or even a sound. These experiences, however, are more on a spiritual side than it is in the dogmatic religions. And believe it or not, us as a people, we're at the top of the food chain when this happens. Do your research. Non-religious, non-religious people are not just limited in their beliefs. And even among those of you who don't affiliate with any specific religion, you too have been visited by a deceased loved one. Here's the challenge. The challenge is that there's an assumption that these experiences are always rooted in a religious faith, and it's not. It's not. Spirituality, on the other hand, keeps us more open to things, as we don't have a brick and mortar that holds us in. It doesn't even matter about the statistics. It's the matter that we have these people walking with us as ancestors, as ancestors. Ashe, welcome to Blended Healing. Welcome again. Today I want to talk about that and maybe perhaps try to get a message from the ancestors today. They are talking so loud. I said a whisper, hunty. Some of our ancestors are downright shouting, shouting for our attention. Let's do some housekeeping.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit.
You see, the common thread is that we've all lost pretty much somebody that was close to us. And when we lose that somebody, there's a void that seems to be impossible to fill. Impossible. And in those moments when we are in our grief, and some of us are still grieving, some people will experience this visitation that transcends this physical world. They say now that the veil is as thin as it ever was. And some people believe that it's non-existent. There's always communication, baby. Whether it's in numbers, whether it's them coming to you, a voice. Like I used to hear my brother stand on the side of my bed calling my name so damn loud that I would jump out of the bed and I would look and I would say, "What? What? What? What?" And everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. Ain't nobody call you. What? Yo, man, you called me, man. Nope. Nope. I'm saying that. And that happened for a minute. You know what I'm saying? They would call me by my nickname, or if I didn't respond to that, then they would call me by my government. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Many people, many of us have that experience. And we hesitate to tell other people about it because we don't want to seem to be like, ooh, spooky or something, right? We hesitate because we feel that we might be judged or misunderstood or dismissed altogether as us just having a nightmare or dream. I'm telling you, in that moment, when you're in that twilight, they are communicating, baby. The veil is the thinnest between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. And this is where, if you wake up in the middle of that time, this is the communication time. Whether the divine is communicating with you, whether your ancestors are communicating with you, whether the angels are communicating with you, this is the communication. And God forbid if you're tapped in. Some people who have those gifts where they're tapped in and they can hear clairaudient, hear when they're talking. The key is to not allow that to freak you out. The key is to remind yourself that you have dominion over you and that they can't just walk in and out of the door whenever they choose. They have to be invited. Some of us worry that the communications that we are having is that we might even start thinking that we got some type of psychological disorder, and you know that ain't the truth. The fear of not being taken seriously or being misunderstood can prevent us from seeking the support that we need to understand what's going on from those who may be able to help us. The understanding of these experiences are not anomalies. but they are a part of our human response to loss. There is definitely after death communication. Definitely. Let me tell you something. This experience is human, not religious. It goes beyond religion. It goes beyond Christians, Jews, Muslim, Buddhists, Hindus, agnostics, atheists, and people who are spiritual but not religious. All say the same thing about the afterlife. People call it a phenomenon. It's not a phenomenon. It's just universal human experience. They want to make sure that you okay. They want to make sure that you okay. Now, don't get it twisted. The process of grieving isn't a one size fit all. If I told you today that I was still grieving the loss of my parents and my siblings and other people in my life today, you would say, "You ain't get over that yet?" No, no, I haven't. My mother passed away in 1987. 1987. And my father 5 years after that. Have I gotten over it? Nah, absolutely not. I'm still grieving their loss. The difference is that I'm learning how to cope better with it. And then I know that whenever I'm ready, I can go to my see, feel, and imagine place and go have a conversation or just lay in my bed and have a conversation with them. Just because they're not physically here does not mean that they don't hear you. But I want you to be very clear. They have their own duties and things to do in the spiritual realm. So I'm going to say not don't. May I offer that whenever you're ready to, release the sadness or the emptiness or the anger, the guilt, the fear, or even relief, you'll be ready to communicate. They will walk you through the process. They will talk to you. It is a positive experience, and it will help to reduce the grief and the fear of the death. I'm not saying that every now and then you're going to have a wave of sadness. Of course you are. We're human. We lost the people that are closest to us. How are we not going to feel that? And I want you to really understand and get this in your head. When you have somebody that has been recently transcended or transformed, it's a process for them to go from being in this body car to being spirit again and to travel to wherever they travel, whatever your belief system is. It's a process. It's not a one and done. It's not an overnight situation. We need to get out of that headspace. May I offer we get out of that headspace that it is something that happens overnight. No, no, they're transitioning. Because first of all, they have to accept the fact that they are spirit. Think about what I'm saying. They have to accept the fact that they are spirit. They too are trying to get your attention just as much. But if you are not okay with that, that spirit of your loved one is going to hang around until they feel it's okay for them to go. Release them. Release them. It does not mean that they will not come back and communicate with you, but you have to release them to let them go on their journey to do their next job in the spirit realm so they can transition to be an ancestor. Now, there's been debates about how long does it take for a deceased loved one to become an ancestor. I was told a year of transition in order for them to be an ancestor. How long was you told? I was told a year in order for them to go through their process on the other side. Life does not end here. It's because we're so used to seeing the tangible things and feeling the real human touch that we don't realize that there's a whole other side. Can you induce the conversation? Sure. You can induce the conversation because it can be a comforting experience, not only for you, but for them. Remember, they are more upset that they have left you than you realize. When you visit practitioners, psychics, or medium and hope that they could facilitate a connection with your departed loved one, let me tell you something. That's the shortcut. Not saying that taking away from the practice, not saying that they don't belong in your grieving process. They can provide a sense, or we can provide a sense of comfort and help for those who are trying to process those emotions and come to terms. And if you do so, when you reach out to a practitioner, a real practitioner who's really about it, understand that the field is unregulated and could be prone to exploitation. Make sure you know who you're talking to. Just like you go to a doctor, make sure that you know that whoever can reach out and has this gift is legit. According to most, we are a bunch of crackpots anyway. No, baby, we just highly attuned. You have the gift too. It's whenever you want to get yourself started, ignite it. And as I wrap this up, remember that healing takes time. And everybody's journey through grief is unique and extremely personal. If you need to reach out and get some help in order for you to cope, pardon me, whatever it takes for you to bring you peace during this tough, difficult time, then do that. They do have grief counselors out there, and you know that. I've been in my grief process for a long time, and there is no term limits on grief. The field just expands. It's how you come to terms and to grips with that. It is extremely possible for you to have an after death communication. There is no definitive explanation about how it occurs scientifically, you see. Us practitioners see it in a different way. And there is mystery surrounding that communication. But, beloved, when I tell you that it can diminish and give you solace and support, it can do that too. Grief is an ebb and flow and up and down. It's like a roller coaster. Sometimes you're good and you're coasting with your hands up in the air, and then all of a sudden you drop down and you're in the pit and you don't want to come out and play. It's just what it is. And don't you let anybody tell you and tap on their watch and tell you it's time to get over it. What the fuck? Until they go through the process of somebody extremely close to them, they're not going to get it. Because with feelings, baby, oh, that's a whole nother conversation. Whole nother conversation. This is a sensitive topic. Sensitive topic. Remember that your experience of your own bereavement is a deeply personal journey. But it's okay to take a stop on that journey and reach out and ask for help when you need it to get over just that hour, just that 15 minutes. It's okay. No judgment, no harm, no foul, no judgment zone here. Always respect. Respect. I love you from a genuine place, and if nobody hasn't told you that they love you today, let me be the first one to tell you I do. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to stop talking because I feel myself getting full. And I hope I haven't spoken out of turn or said too much. But all you have to do is when you want to talk to your loved one, just talk. They'll hear you. They'll hear you. Okay. Deep bow and ashe to each and every one of you. And I shall see you all very, very soon.